just a week after referring to Russia's invasion of Ukraine as merely a territorial dispute that the United States should stay out of, a sentiment resembling that of Donald Trump's. Governor Ron DeSantis is now attempting a pivot, and a fairly awkward one, on the issue, calling Vladimir Putin a war criminal. "I do think that he should be held accountable," DeSantis, who many anticipate will announce a presidential bid, told Piers Morgan in a Fox Nation interview set to air Thursday. He went on to argue that his earlier statement on the war in Ukraine was misconstrued. "Obviously, Russia invaded, that was wrong," he said, according to an excerpt of the interview Morgan shared with the New York Post. "What I'm referring to is where the fighting is going on now, which is that eastern border region, Donbass, and then Crimea, and you have a situation where Russia has had that," DeSantis said, referring to the 2014 Russian invasion of Crimea. "I don't think legitimately, but they had. There's a lot of ethnic Russians there." He added he doesn't believe there is a sufficient interest for us to escalate more involvement, seemingly softening his previous statement blasting Joe Biden's administration for giving Ukraine what DeSantis called a blank check in support of its fight against Russia. It appears that DeSantis might be playing to his audiences. DeSantis's comments downplaying the war in Ukraine and decrying Washington's role in the war came in a statement to Tucker Carlson, who is among the most outspoken and influential critics of U.S. support for Ukraine. Carlson has accused the U.S. of conspiring to trigger regime change in Russia and described Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky as a very dark force and a destroyer. Even DeSantis's initial description of the war as distant and trivial, a posture that deeply impressed the host, was almost identical to Carlson's belief that it is a far-flung border dispute. But in his remarks to Morgan, an unreserved supporter of the Ukrainian cause, DeSantis sounded more like a traditional, anti-Kremlin conservative. Or perhaps the Florida governor is reading the room. DeSantis's territorial dispute comment to Carlson drew ire from several factions of the Republican Party. Trump reportedly accused him of just following what I am saying, a point Nikki Haley, another Republican presidential hopeful, seconded, calling the two an echo of one another. Meanwhile, on the Hill, Senator John Cornyn told Politico that he was disturbed by the comment, while Senator Marco Rubio, a fellow Floridian, said in a radio interview, obviously, he doesn't deal with foreign policy every day as governor. Senator Lindsey Graham, an early backer of Trump's 2024 campaign, went a step further. Governor DeSantis, who I respect, is basically taking the Chinese position when it comes to Russia's invasion, the South Carolina senator told Fox News. China calls this a territorial dispute. This is not a territorial dispute. This is an invasion of a sovereign democracy by Putin's Russia, barbaric in nature.
I've noticed that 99% of you are not subscribed, so smash the subscribe button and leave a like if you want to see more content like this.